Shalom, 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 Yasha'Allah. This your boy, Brother Shamwa Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called, "And they covet fields and take them by violence." And they covet fields and take them by violence. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and his only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi. All right, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have ruled well to the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days of mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and on the hedges and on a unicorn, which is this internet, pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom to you all as well. Like I said, today's lesson is going to be called, "And they covet fields and take them by violence." All right, and this is just another example, of E and his mentality, right? This is from Associated Press. I'm going to play this real quick. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Forces had seized an oil tanker off. U.S. President Donald Trump has said that U.S. forces had seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi posted this video on social media, showing people fast roping from a helicopter to the deck and moving around with weapons drawn. Bondi said...
Right, fair use. Now you see, all right, they took over an oil tanker, all right? And, done lessons on this before, all right? We know... they say that they're going on off a war of drugs, all right, but we understand, Venezuela has, a large resource of oil, right, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, gold too. But you see, all right, their true agenda is always shown, all right. So just keep watching. Fair use, fair use.
The tanker was involved in an illicit oil shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations.
We've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, a large tanker, very well.
So they seized a oil tanker off of Venezuela. All right. Now listen to what he says too. All right. Fair use, fair use.
Largest one ever seized, actually.
What happens to the oil on that ship?
Well, we keep it, I guess.
A U.S.
He said, well, we keep it, I guess. Right? That was the whole purpose in the beginning. All right? To take it and to keep it. All right? Listen, hey, what does it say? We are not ignorant to Satan's devices, man. All right? That was the whole purpose. All right? To... otherwise, why didn't they just, like they've been doing, just blowing up these ships, right? Because they know that they want that resource, man. All right. I want to
official identified the seized.
Largest one ever seized, actually.
What happens to the oil on that ship?
Well, we keep it, I guess.
A U.S. official identified the seized tanker as the Skipper. The ship departed Venezuela around December 2nd, with around 2 million barrels of heavy crude.
2 million barrels of crude, of oil, of free resources. All right? All you got to do is just take it. All right? All you got to do is just take it by violence. All right? This is E, man. All right? Let's play a little bit more. Fair use, fair use.
Half of it belonging to a Cuban state-run oil importer. That's according to documents from state-owned company Petróleos de Venezuela S.A. Venezuela's interior minister called the seizure an act of international piracy.
It says what they want is to steal our oil, to steal it. All right. They listen. The cloak is coming off the eyes of these other nations. They see, all right, what this place is really about, man. All right. Fair use, fair use.
Robárselo, robarse nuestro oro, robárselo.
Right? It says to steal our gold. They want to steal our gas. All right, and that's what they come to do. All right, and they said, well, no, it's a war on drugs. All right, but you see, and you see how he was just nonchalantly about it. Well, what are you gonna do about the? We're gonna keep it. You know, we're gonna keep it. All right, so hey, hey, you just know who you're dealing with, man. At the end of the day, all right. See something. Let's see. Let's go back here. Salakia. Let's get this picture of them. There you go. All right, taking it by violence. All right. So let's get a couple of scriptures. Right, we'll close this out. All right, and a lot of this is similar to just what I just brought out. All right, in the earlier lesson. All right, but this is Genesis chapter 27, and verse number 38. All right, Esau and Jacob. All right, Esau, right, the quote unquote or so-called white man. All right, and you have Jacob. All right, who is the forefather of what? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the Israelites. Okay, and so this is when Esau was trying to get his blessing. All right, that he his birthright. But remember, he sold his birthright to Jacob. All right, he sold his birthright to Jacob, so the blessing was given to Jacob, and Esau's was taken away. So, this is at that point. So this is Genesis chapter 27, verse 38. It says, and Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. It says, and Esau lifted up his voice and wept. It says, and Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. All right. And it says, and the dew of the heaven from above. Okay. And when we go to Job 9 and verse number 24, and it reads, it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? All right, Esau Edom. All right, and he's being revealed, and all his schemes and his plans are being overthrown. Like everybody's seeing it. Okay, so Genesis 27. Let's go back down to verse number 38 again. It says, in Esau, Salakia, let's go to verse 39. It says, and Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the heaven of the dew, Salakia, and of the dew of heaven from above. Okay, so he was going to have the fatness of the earth, but how? It says, verse 40, it says, and by thy sword thou shalt live. All right, his blessing was the sword. All right, and to take the fatness of the earth. All right, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, he just takes it, and he takes it by violence. It says, and by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother, right, Jacob. It says, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. All right, but the point is, and by thy sword thou shalt live. Okay, and you see, that's what they do. All right, they let's get the book of Micah. All right, Micah, by the sword. Right, It says, Micah chapter 2, right? We brought this out, right? Remember, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So it says, verse 1, Micah chapter 2, verse 1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. All right? The fatness of the earth. All right? And what do they use? They use their blessing, which is the sword. All right? These modern day weapons, you see, they coming out of helicopters, right? With their swords in their hands. All right? The modern day sword. All right? Is these weapons that they have. Okay? It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence. All right? And houses and take them away. All right? Hey, and even ships with petroleum oil, you know? What are you going to do with it? You're going to return it? No, we're just going to keep it. You know? It's ours now. We took it. All right? It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. All right? That's how cold he is. And he takes it all. All right? He'll take your house. All right? He'll take your field. All right? He'll take your heritage and claim it as his. All right? Just as he's done. All right? This is who you're dealing with. Okay? Matter of fact, let's get this real quick. 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse number 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right, Esau, Edom. All right, and he's being revealed in these last days. All right, and he's just showing. All right, just by the things that he's doing. All right, when you go to what is that, Malachi 1 and 4, the wicked. All right, it calls Edom the border of wickedness. All right, they are the wicked that the Bible speaks of. All right, and what do? The earth is given into their hand. How did they take it? By the sword. All right, and they take a man's heritage, his land, his house, even his boat with his oil. All right, but he'll say he's coming in another way. All right, but what does he do? You know, he has. It says his words are smoother than butter, but war is in his heart. Okay. It says, verse 4, it says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. And that's what he does. All right. He tries to perpetrate it and act like he's the Most High. All right. And he's just taking over everything. Okay. Let me see. Let's go to the book of Habakkuk. We brought it out earlier again. All right, but it just fits. Okay. Habakkuk 2, we'll get to the point on this one. In verse number 5, it says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. All right, what did he do? Got him a helicopter. All right. And what? Sent his men to go take. All right. To go take. All right. It by the blessing, his blessing of his sword. It says, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. All right. You know, he wants it. He's going to get it. Right. When the morning is lit, what does he do? He wakes up and says, yep, this is what we're going to do today. It says, it is as deaf and cannot be satisfied. Right? Never satisfied. It's not good enough. All right. You know, we destroyed your ship. We see some people who might have survived, or nope, we're going to have to completely destroy it. And they're never satisfied. It says, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. Why? Because he's all up in everybody's business. Okay. Let's go to the book of Obadiah. Right. Obadiah. We'll start at Salakia. Obadiah, will start at verse 3. It says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? All right. And that's, when you do things, like this, or you get your helicopter and you just, hey, I'm just going to take over today. Right. Who's going to stop me? All right. The earth, the earth is his. All right. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay. It says, though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. It says, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? It says, would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? All right. But that's, it's not good enough. All right. They have to take everything. All right. So, hey, they took the ship. Hey, well, you're going to give the oil? Nope. We're going to keep it. You know what I mean? Every last drop of it. We're going to use it as ours. Right. But that's who you're dealing with, man. All right. This is who you're dealing with. All right. And our people don't get it. They don't understand. Okay. But this devil is going down, man. All right. At the end of the day, it says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Okay. And, the scriptures ultimately say, hey, he lives by the sword. And the scriptures tell you, at the end of the day, Revelation 13 and verse number 9, it says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right. So that you live by the sword and you die by the sword. Your blessing is the sword, and your destruction is going to be the ultimate sword. All right. Which are those ICBM missiles. All right. That's going to come and obliterate this place. All right. Along with Yahawashi and the angels and the chariots and their weaponry, destroying this place, Babylon. All right. Off the face of the earth, man. All right. That this land will be no longer habitable. Okay. So, hey, hey, you live by that sword. Ultimately, you're going to be taken out by the sword. Okay. So I just wanted to do this quick lesson. I had talked about it in my previous, about what, taking over. I saw this video. So I just wanted to, to share that. Lord's will, this is edifying. All right. Well, with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, call Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad. And mighty shalom to the 144,000 men. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have ruled well to the spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days. Another mighty shalom to the rest of the elect in the household of faith, man. At the end of the day. All right. The scriptures tell you, arise, disappoint him. All right. The wicked, which is thy sword. All right. Ultimately, we pray to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi that he will deliver us, from our enemies and all those that hate us. All right. And that he will bring destruction. All right. To our enemies, soon. All right. And bring speedy riddance to Babylon the Great. All right. So with that, I say a ball, and shalom.